Welcome to Speaking of Entrepreneurship, a podcast powered by the Center for Entrepreneurs at Cuyahoga Community College's Corporate College. Here, we dive into real conversations with industry experts, innovative founders, and business leaders who share their insights, challenges, and strategies for success. Whether you're launching a startup, scaling your business, or just exploring the entrepreneurial mindset, this is your space to learn, adapt, and thrive.
What does a CEO ritual have to do with our podcast? We'll find out today as I interview this guest over here. So, I am Suzanne Ortiz, and you are?
I am CP. Well, Cheryl CP Perez. Everybody calls me CP, though.
CP, I'm so excited to have you today.
I am
in our
as
studio.
well. I'm super pumped about being here.
Yeah.
And excited about this venture, excited about the podcast.
Yes.
And excited to talk about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am so excited because we'll have like this little special announcement at the very end. But I want to get into this CEO ritual. Yes. I mean, seriously, like, what does this mean?
You know, I have so many CEO rituals that I have developed over the last 25 years of my career. But I would say I have two primaries. The first is my morning CEO ritual, which I think is a requirement, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey. If you are just starting out, you need to establish some type of morning ritual that will get you in the right frame of mind to make it through the day.
Okay, so it's not like just waking up, brushing my teeth, doing my makeup and my hair, and then going and taking care of my son and my animals?
It includes that because you have to do those things. Otherwise, you'll leave the house not smelling so fresh with dirty teeth, animals who have to pee, and a child who's left at home without supervision. So that's a part of it.
Probably wouldn't be good, would it?
It wouldn't be good. Okay. But the other part is the self-care part that I think so many of us jump right from our sleeping state into serving others. Yeah. And a huge part of entrepreneurship is serving others, right? Because you start your business to be a problem solver. And so we're solving problems for everybody else all day long, which usually takes us into this like space of ups and downs. And if we haven't done enough for our own self-care in the morning, we won't be able to navigate those ups and downs. So my morning CEO ritual is way different, and it has developed so significantly. But I learned it probably about 18 months to 2 years into my entrepreneurial journey.
Okay.
And I have slowly added things as I have gotten more and more grounded and focused more on navigating the mental health part of being an entrepreneur, the mindset part. Yeah. But now today, it includes, first, I do not touch my electronics or anything regarding my phone, my iPad, my computer, no social for the first hour and a half of waking up.
Okay, so the first
minutes.
question is how do you wake up? So you have like an alarm clock? Or
I
you
do.
just had this magical one in your head?
I have first. I created a smart home.
Okay.
I don't know, about 2 years ago. I went on this thing because the fact that my alarm was on my phone created this like process and habit that when my alarm would go off and I'd like tap it, then all the notifications hit right afterwards, right? Yep. And those notifications include all the emails, all the social, all the everything, and your central nervous system immediately goes into fight or flight, and so you're starting your day in
with
fight
anxiety.
or flight.
Yeah, huge
right?
anxiety because that's
I did a smart home. So I have a Google Home. You can do Alexa, any of them. Just get one of those things, and so she wakes me up.
Okay.
So I have it set, and what happens is I have it actually set as a morning routine where my alarm goes off, and then slowly behind my alarm is like, if you picture Coming to America, have you seen the movie Coming to America? So you know that part where they're like waking up Hakeem for his birthday, and then he's sleeping, and then like the violins are like. That's what happens. So that's awesome. My Google Home has like this little chime, and then the Coming to America music comes in behind it because I'm a queen, right? We're all kings and queens. And it slowly wakes me up. So I wake up in like a, immediately. Wow. And then the first thing I do is, obviously I get up and I go to the restroom because that's what we all do. Yeah. And then I come back and I meditate.
Wow.
And I have a complete morning 6-step meditation process that includes love and compassion for the whole world, gratitude, forgiveness, and then my intention for the day. So I map out my day and how well it's going to go in my head. And then I look at my future 3-year vision of my life. And then I spend some time with God, in 5 minutes. So we hug. Every morning I hug God and thank him for his protection and for getting me through the day. And that's usually about 15 to 20 minutes. Wow. And then I start my day. Yeah. Then I get up, I go turn on my coffee or my tea, water, and then I come back and I get in my shower and I, usually am playing affirmations as I'm in the shower, as I'm getting dressed, brushing of the teeth, doing of the hair and makeup. And then once I'm completely dressed, then I grab my phone and then the day starts.
You get into it. And I'm assuming that your family knows about this and they're not like, hello, you need to come out here. They actually leave you alone?
They leave me alone through the meditation.
Okay.
So at least the first, and usually they're still sleeping even when it starts. So, they leave me alone through the meditation. But once I'm doing the whole showering bit and all that stuff, they interrupt me all morning. But the meditation is absolutely critical. So they leave me alone through that. My dogs don't, however. So I had to create a room off of my room that I go into, I close the door, and then I meditate in there.
Wow. That sounds powerful.
It is life-changing when you're an entrepreneur and you are giving all day long. Yeah. Solving problems all day long. It really does enable me to get through it. So that's probably my number one ritual.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm a people pleaser, so I feel like I need to bring in some of your ritual in the morning.
You have to.
Yeah.
You don't have one?
No. Mine is I wake up, I go into the restroom. Usually my child is the one who's waking me up.
Because he's got to go to school?
He's like, let's go. Come on. We got to get moving here.
Yes. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Incorporate. And you have to start slow. In the beginning, it was a goal for me to, of course, I'm a goal-oriented person. So I'm like, I got to do it every day. And then I gave myself grace on days that I didn't do it. Like even now, I some days I don't get a full 20-minute meditation in because my day is starting too early or I didn't sleep well, because I'm at that stage in life where sleep is iffy every single night. So I at least do 5 minutes. So if I don't get a chance to do all 6 steps, I pick like one that I feel like I really need to do because each of the 6 steps are about 5 minutes long. Yeah. So if I'm like, today, you know what, I just need to focus on gratitude and hugging God. No matter what, I hug God every morning. But sometimes it's just forgiveness or sometimes it's forgiving someone who really upset me the day before. I'm like, you really pissed me off, so I've got to fix that today. So at least 5 minutes of meditation. Okay. But some days, I give myself grace that I didn't get through the whole thing. Yeah. But no matter what, I don't look at my phone until I'm ready to face the day. And I have to get myself ready before I do it.
And I think that's good, like the baby steps, right? Yes. Starting off at least to try to do something for yourself. Yes, and that's that self-care piece that you were talking about. I do think that's really important for entrepreneurs.
I'm going to tell you guys about this book, my favorite book, where I got the 6-step meditation practice. And it's actually called the 6-step meditation by, I never pronounce his name correctly. He is the owner of Mindvalley, the app.
Oh, okay.
And it's the 6-step meditation. I'll have to make sure that I remember.
Well, you're on the spot now. So,
I know. I feel like I got to look it up, but I don't have any electronics with me. But
we're in the meditation mode.
We are. I should have brought my phone. But he is the owner of Mindvalley. So if you go on Audible, 6-step meditation, or on Amazon, you can get the hard copy. But it includes the actual guided meditation that he walks you through at the end. And now I've been doing it for so long that I just have meditation music and I can kind of walk myself through it.
Now you have the CP meditation.
I do. I started to record myself doing it, like guiding myself. And I was like thinking about it because I want to get one for my kids. I think that my kids are all at this point where they need to start this practice. And I wish that my mom would have given it to me.
Yeah. Well, I just think about everything that's going on right now and how we're literally like just constant, right? You're constantly moving, whether you're an entrepreneur or not an entrepreneur, we're always just doing something. So you have to just relax your mind.
Absolutely.
So I do think that's important.
I wouldn't be able to get through the day with a smile on most days if I didn't do it. And I can always tell when I haven't done it, like how my central nervous system reacts throughout the day. I feel like I'm in fight or flight all day versus those moments where something happens and it can be an absolutely crazy thing. And you're like, it's okay. Yeah. Like it'll work itself out. So I'm usually in that state of peace because, when you're busy, you can, constantly be in that space, and your brain won't be open to seeing and thinking through the problems. You're in reactive state. So when I'm at peace from first thing in the morning, I can be very strategic in how I tackle things, and I'm not making mistakes, and it's just working out. Like, it seems like almost miraculously.
Yeah, it's your true self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I'm attracting how it's supposed to work out, because I'm in a state to recognize that it's there in front of me and I'm supposed to do it. So yeah.
Well, I think that's a good transition, because you have other rituals, don't you?
I do. My second most significant CEO ritual is my annual business planning retreat.
Okay, so a retreat tells me like a bunch of people are there. You're going to like a conference center with a bunch of amazing food. Is that how yours is?
No, but actually, it's funny that you asked that. I just came out of my CEO retreat, which I do every single year, fourth quarter. I started it from day one, my very first business, because, I am a operations consultant and a business coach. And so I focus on strategies, systems and processes, structures for businesses, and then your squads, so your HR, your teams. And I have always created an annual growth strategy, an annual growth plan. So I don't really believe in like those crazy 50-page business plans, because I think that people create them and then they put them away and they never use them. So I'm an action strategist, right? So I feel like if I create a strategy, it has to include specific action items and things I've got to get done so that I can execute with deadlines and all that kind of good stuff. So from the very beginning of my very first business, I began doing an solo business planning retreat. And I call it my CEO retreat.
Okay.
Now it looks different than when it did then. But in the beginning, I was literally like, I would grab a hotel room in Independence, like 20 minutes from my house, far enough away that my kids couldn't get to me, but close enough that if I needed to get to them, I could. And I'd check in on a Friday, check out on Monday, and give myself the space to really focus on my business, to only work on my business. So I put my out of office on as if I am at a conference so that nobody, is going nuts. And I don't do any in my business stuff. I spend the entire time focusing on the business, getting all of those things done, created, thought through, researched. We all have those folders, right? You get all those newsletters about stuff that you look at and you're like, oh, that's cool. I want to look into that. And then you plop it somewhere else in a different folder that says, this is that. I'll look at that later.
It's the to-do.
Yes. So I focus on the I look at that later folder on this retreat. I create my SWOT analysis for my business based off of my numbers, my financials, my customer feedback, comments that I've gotten from social or anything like that. And I create my SWOT analysis. What were my strengths? What were the weaknesses? What are the opportunities and threats in the market? So I do additional market research. And from that SWOT, I am able to create my overarching goals for my business. So I usually pick 2 to 3 for the following 12 months, the next calendar year. And then after I get those overarching goals, inside of those, I'm like, all right, what are going to be the strategies that I'm going to do, the initiatives that I'm going to do in order to achieve that goal? And then I go one layer deeper. Here's my action items and to-do list in order to get those things done by deadline date.
Okay, so let me go back though a little bit, like the SWOT analysis piece. So do you have an idea of what they might be? Or are you like, it's like a clean slate. You're not thinking about it at all. You're like, at this moment in time is where I'm going to think about it.
No, I've been keeping a SWOT analysis probably mentally the whole year. Right? Yeah. Probably mentally. And I actually do have a running Excel spreadsheet that I use to clean my brain throughout the year. So there are things that when you're in the thick of it happening in your business that you make note of that you want to change.
So like your parking lot.
It's my parking lot. So I pull my parking lot out. I pull my financials out for the year so far, because that tells you a lot about what's strong and what's not strong. All of my customer feedback that I have gathered through them offboarding clients throughout the year, whether it's coaching clients or consulting clients, all their feedback. And then also bottlenecks that have been happening in the business, like where there was a snafu or, the parking lot stuff. Yeah. And I also do updated market research because it changes every single year. And then from that, I'm able to create my SWOT. And now 25 years ago, it was Friday check in on Friday, check out on Monday. Now it's usually 5 to 6 days.
Wow.
And I actually go somewhere that I want to go. And I incorporate mind, body, and business into the entire process. So I will get massages. I will meditate. I will, choose a location typically that has a retreat vibe. I might go sit down at the pool and work. So I allow myself to work as much as I want to on my business with no limitations. So I've done 18 hours straight before on the retreat because I'm in the flow, right? I'm flowing and I'm like, my YouTube channel, for instance, it was a result of a CEO retreat.
Oh, wow.
And my SWOT indicated that I needed to do more inbound marketing and I needed to up my digital marketing game because I was, real old school in my marketing methods before that. And so I did the whole thing and came up with either a podcast or a YouTube channel. I had no experience in YouTube at all. So I knew that was going to be, an overarching strategy as a part of my expand my digital marketing.
Yeah.
And I used that time to go through an entire online course on how to start a YouTube channel. So instead of saying, okay, I need to start the YouTube channel and then putting it as something I learn how to do later, I used my retreat to learn too, to actually get it set up. So before I left my retreat, my entire YouTube channel strategy, my logo, everything was done.
Wow.
Because as I'm doing it, I'm like, as I'm planning it and as I'm learning, I'm writing down what I got to do. I'm like, outsourcing the logo. I'm like already working on the banner. I'm like, everything is done. The YouTube channel was established because I took the course and executed as I was going through it. And it was probably, I think, maybe 8 modules, so 24 lessons in this course. But I just buckled down and did it.
But I love that because you had the creative space to be able to do it.
Exactly.
And I think to myself, though, I don't know if I could lock myself in a hotel room for 4 days straight. So I'm wondering, can you do it like one day and then, go back to your family and then another day? Or are you like, no, you've got to do,
You got to give yourself the whole space. I usually get a king size bed and use the other half as an office because in the middle of the night, when you're an entrepreneur, you get these ideas and this is your complete space to work without feeling guilt, right? Without your kids saying, Mom, what's for dinner? Without, your dog making you get up and feed them. Like you are in 100% your working growth zone. And when you're in the zone, you want to stay in the zone. And so no one bothers me. Everyone knows. I can call you if I want to take a break. So I do take breaks.
Okay.
But I usually get a suite now that has a kitchen. I take snacks. I've got wine. I'm ordering room service. But I do allow, I hit certain goals at the end of each day. And now I allow myself to do something like go for a walk on the beach or go get a massage. And so I take care of myself and my business during this time. And I leave with such clarity and so much focus that I can tell you the growth that I experienced in my businesses over the last 25 years, double-digit growth every single year consistently, I can contribute to this strategic plan.
So if we think about someone, so let's go back 25 years. I know you're going to be really happy. So, 25 years ago. So right now, go in that's mindset.
I was in my 20s.
Yes. So let's think about that moment, right? So, you've just started a business. You haven't, you just had an idea. You maybe have some clients. You maybe have some revenue. When does that ritual start? Is it a month in, 2 months in, and then how do you plan that piece out? You know, so if we could just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the timing for me is the same time every year. So I usually go sometime in October, towards the end of October, beginning of November. That's my 4-week window to choose. And I actually block off the following year when I'm done with this year. That way nothing else interferes with it. So I guess the timing in your business depends upon when you start your business. Because it could be the goal is to plan the following calendar year's strategy. So I always do at the end of October, beginning of November. That way I have 6 weeks towards the end of the year to begin execution and getting ready so that kicking off the year, January, I am ready to hit the ground running. So that could mean, I might discover that I need a new technology tool. So while I'm on the retreat, I research all the tech tools and then I pick which one I want. And between getting back middle of November to the end of December, I enroll. Because most of the time you get like a 30-day free trial.
Right, exactly.
So I'm like in free
Utilize
trial.
those, yeah.
Right. I'm in free trial mode at the end of the year to make sure that I want to keep it. Because, there's only so much you can decide. So I start
then you can budget
execution.
for that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do create my budget. So I leave the retreat with my entire following year's budget completed as well. So I know. And also I spend time mapping out, now that I've got all these strategies, what do I need to do with my team in order to support execution of these strategies? So I usually reorg my org chart, create any job descriptions that I need in order to begin my hiring processes, create a performance review or bonus structure around what I need. So the remainder of the year, I'm beginning to execute. I am, meeting with my team, incorporating the performance reviews, because then I tell them, all right, next year, here's your KPIs, because it's all based off of all of it. So if I was just starting my business in, say, September, then November, I'd go away and plan my following year's strategy, because, and that could include something really basic, right? Like I need to set up my operational structure. So my 2026 plan, if I was just starting my business, would mean get my LLC, pick my business name, get my domain, set up my website. Like those would be my action items. And focusing on the plan prevents you from chasing shiny balls and getting distracted. If it's not in the plan, don't do it. Put it in your parking lot for the following year's strategic planning retreat.
I like that because, I just think about, we said the craziness of the world, right? And so a lot of times, I'm sure when you were starting off, you were either working full time or working multiple jobs and then trying to maybe get the side hustle going.
Exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, and so I think about like how you probably had no time. And then I'm sure, you were probably raising your family at that time. And
I was still giving birth to family at that time too.
Right. So, and you have this burning like desires in your head and you really like, you can't find time. So I like that, being able, even if you're just starting off, just take the time to do it. And I know that there's never going to be a right time, right? So
unless you plan it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I would take vacation my very first time doing it. I took PTO from my full-time gig to go on my business planning retreat.
That's a great idea.
Yep. Very first year. And it's life-changing. And if one year I didn't do it, the year that my dad passed away, and I was just out of it for so long, after he passed, that I just skipped it. I just didn't feel like I could do it. And that following year was hell. Yeah. It was like I was all over the place. My brain was all over it was one of the most stressful business years of my entire career. And it wasn't because I was still mourning. It was because I didn't have the plan. Yeah. So I was like all over the place. My team was all over the place. We were very reactive. We missed a lot of stuff. I didn't really tweak any of my products or services. So things just weren't as profitable as they could have been. And that was the first year that I actually had a loss. So I was like, never again. Yeah. Never again. I was like, girl. So I just came back from mine. And a part of my 2026 strategy is to actually kick off a CEO retreat that I will open to other entrepreneurs to go with me.
That.
Yep. We'll all go together. And then I will teach people how to CEO retreat every single year. And we will do the mind, body, and business retreat together.
And so let's talk about that, right? I mean, we're closing out here on our podcast, and so let's think. I mean, you're obviously feeling rejuvenated. You're excited about 2026. What's your mindset? Like, what's the takeaway?
I have to say that I am so ready for 2026 that. Not that I want to skip the holidays, but I could skip them and go right to New Year's right now. I'm so pumped. Right now, I am in the execution piece, and I would tell everybody if there is anything else that you can't figure out to dedicate yourself to in your business, it would be those two rituals. Add in 2026 a personal morning ritual that allows your mindset to be where it needs to be in order for you to be successful, and take the time. Right now, there's still time. You can still do it. We still got some time left to map out what your strategy is going to be. And if you can't do the full 6 days like I do, at least get a hotel room somewhere down the street from your house, lock yourself in it, order room service and DoorDash, and take at least 48 hours to figure out what your 2026 is going to look like. Because if you don't, you will feel all of what you probably always feel. And you won't have the clarity that you need to really be able to lead your organization.
So reduce the distractions and get that mindfulness, and come tell us, right? When you do it, we want to hear those stories.
Oh my God, it's my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
It's my favorite.
I want to do that so bad.
You got to do it too, for even if you're professional. You should.
I do.
Even if you aren't an entrepreneur, do it.
Yeah.
Because you probably got to get your personal life together too, and even your work life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're part of the Center for Entrepreneurs, so we're building our own business right now.
Yes.
And I think about all the ideas that we have to help individuals. I mean, and we didn't talk about it. I mean, you're one of our instructors.
Yes.
You're one of our instructional designers. And so, I mean, we're always looking to innovate and create all these new things. And
your brain is,
Yeah.
and you're like
my brain's on overload.
You're like the program goddess of the entire thing. And so
I like that title.
You've got to always be in creation mode. When do you have time to sit and think through your parking lot?
I don't.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to book it when we get off here.
All right.
I'm going to grab your phone right now. We're going to go into the Hilton or Marriott app, and we're going to book you.
Love it.
The
I'm
Embassy
gonna do
Suites
that.
has the best part, because you can also have a suite on the outside. You can sit on the couch and watch TV and not just be sitting on the bed the whole time.
I love that.
All
I
right.
love that.
Deal.
I could talk to you forever. But one of the reasons that we're doing this podcast is because you're going to be our host for our new set of podcasts.
I am. We're going to joint venture CPTV. And speaking of entrepreneurship, we're going to do it together. And I love that. And I love the program and Tri-C and everything that it's doing for entrepreneurship in our region and in the country.
Well, and we love you, and we're so excited to have you hosting, and you're going to be hosting our instructors who are part of our program. And I will definitely come back, because I've got to interview again. I mean, we've got to learn more. I'm sure you have like a billion other tidbits for people.
We should make this an automatic one, just you and I
definitely.
sometimes.
Definitely.
I'm excited to kick off the podcast too.
Yeah. So, I mean, since technically you're going to be the next episode, is there anything you'd like to say to individuals for our next one?
I mean, I would say just stay tuned for sure, because everything that we do here is going to be relevant to where you need to go in your entrepreneurial journey, but to also keep your mind, your body, and your business intact. So until next time, make sure you check us out every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks we'll be here, and we look forward to taking you along and being with you to help you towards your entrepreneurial journey towards freedom. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, mwah! See you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast, brought to you by the Center for Entrepreneurs at Corporate College. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow entrepreneurs. Tune back in to stay connected with us for more insights and resources to help you build, innovate, and thrive.